Hi everyone, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my Sunday live stream or photo editing live stream where you can submit your images before the stream starts and I edit them here for you live using Olympus Workspace or for the Olympus cameras or Lightroom for everything else. So I always start out with the Olympus cameras and welcome. I appreciate you being here and submitting your images, and I also have an image I always put out that you can edit and it's always fun to see what you guys do with my picture. It's like Randy says, it's kind of like homework, right? Uh, and this week's image I gave you was kind of I don't know, it's already pretty good in terms of framing and everything. So I'm curious to see what you guys did with it, to see how you made it different. Because when I looked at it, I couldn't think of any other way to edit it. So there it is. I thought it was fine straight out of camera, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I'm sorry, sound. Hopefully you heard most of that, even if it was echoey. I always forget something, right? I should just get a boom mic or something, go back to that instead of this clip-on mic. But this is so simple. It just plugs right into the computer and it sounds fine, right? Um, okay, so you did hear. Thank you, Elaine. How are you? And Dave is here, and let's see. Lauren, Ann, good to see you. And Stephen Page, John Yutze, awesome. So let's go ahead and get started without further ado. And, for those of you in the last stream where I had some troubles, in between the stream, there was a driver update for the Wi-Fi card in my laptop. So hopefully maybe that'll fix it. I doubt it. I think it's in the routers where the problem is, but I'm gonna have to try and diagnose that, this week. But okay, let me switch over to our photo editing, and I'll start with Workspace. And the first image here up is Randy. Looks like some seals. And let's see what you used today. The Olympus EM1 with a 40 to 150 Pro at 106 f2.8 1/100th. Yep, all good settings. Single point. Very good. And lovely image. Amazing detail. This lens is so nice. Wow. These guys are really passed out, aren't they? How can this guy be sleeping with his head up? Oh, don't worry about it, Garrett. We'll look at them both very quickly. This one's got a mark on him. He's seen. I bet this is the protector of the group, right? He's got the most battle damage here. Wow. All right. So let's see. Randy chose vivid and normal gradation. Let's pull in auto gradation to bring up the shadows. And I bet this would look good in black and white. Because other than this green, well, this green and these browns kind of go well together too. But let me just look at a monochrome. I'm a little torn. I like, how about sepia? Sepia is interesting. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a gentle sepia art filter because it does more with the tones. And let's give it a little more exposure comp. Add some vignette. Crank up the sharpening. And we were at base ISO, so I'm going to turn this noise filter off. Sepia so soon, right? And maybe a little more vignette. And now let's give it a little bit crispy with some dehaze and clarity. And then let's push the highlights up a little bit. Back off to the haze. All right. There's that. Let me just look at the color again. No. And then I think instead of sepia filter, I'll do monochrome and split tone it. So I'm going to give it a little more dehaze. And let's split tone it with, let's see, should I do blue? No, let's do green. So these greens are a little bit on the brighter side. And then I'm going to pull this down. This is, I guess, sort of a magenta. Just a touch. How about opposite of that? Oh, out of time. All right. So that's my edit there. Let's look at the before and after. So I think the original image is already pretty excellent. So anything I do to it is just more of a creative choice than it is trying to make the image any better. It's already framed really well. I mean, you might consider a vertical framing. That's the only other thing, maybe, is doing it this way. So something like that, maybe. I think that's kind of interesting too. I just can't believe how passed out they are. Wow. All right. Yeah, the color looks great. I mean, look how good this image is without any processing, right? It's really nice. It really didn't need anything, just a tad sharpening and that's it. All right, let's see. We have one here from Hugh Perry and shot the EM1 Mark III with a 12-40 Pro at 40 millimeters at 5.6. -1 exposure comp, interesting. Single point, okay, that's interesting. Why would you need a -1 on this? I mean, I can see it's already pretty bright. What is causing that? Interesting. Oh, it's muted. Let's try vivid. There's no color in here anyway, really. But I'm gonna pop art filter it and see if I can pull, yeah, some more colors. Then let's dehaze it slightly. Okay, a little bit of clarity. And then let's back off the saturation a bit. Right there. And then I need to straighten it some. Maybe this way. All right, and then let's come off the top. I'm not crazy about the sky. I think we get enough depth right here. And then we have the stream here, it looks like, leading up to this. So I want to draw the eye. Let's stick to 4x3. Come in about there. Let's see what that. Okay, I think that gives this a little more prominence in the frame. Then let's go ahead and work with the RGB. Okay, so you're just shooting and muted, so you can see more of the. You can see a little bit flatter image when you're taking the picture. I think that's sound advice. I don't do that myself, but I understand the logic. Just do a little bit of an S curve. And then the greens are a little bit off, so I'm gonna go to the green. It's in the highlights. I'm gonna pull these down just a tad. Oh, that's more than a tad, isn't it? Maybe right in here. All right, and then let's go to about 6,000 K. Make it a little warmer. Vignette. And then sharpness, all looks good. I need a little bit more in the highlights. Let me put this to natural. I need just a touch more in the highlights. All right, out of time. Okay, let's do a before and after. And we'll let that render for a second. Not done yet. There it goes. All right, awesome. Oh, not yet. Come on, render. You can see the little wheel going. Why is it having a hard time with this? All right, there we go. So yeah, basically the pop art filter brings out all of the colors in the image. And what's neat, I just noticed there's a little bridge here too, right up in here. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I think that's a much stronger image on the right. Maybe a little bit surreal, but still, I think it's stronger. But there's lots of interesting things here. If you get your telephoto lens, I love these trees down here. And the trees up here. I love the bridge over the waterfall. There's lots of great elements in this image. So if you can, come back to this scene, and you can get many different images out of it, I think. Even on based on the time of day, you could get hundreds of images from this. Oh, there's a goat on the bridge. Wow. I didn't see that. All right, so let's see. We have Dragos here with a long exposure. And we got light trails. We got sky here. Let's look at the EXIF EM1 Mark II with a 7:14. Wow, nice. ISO 200. All right, that all looks good. 1.3 seconds, though. It's probably a live composite image, though, because I can't imagine 1.3 seconds the cars will go from point A to point B that quickly. So let me just crank up sharpness like I always do. And what about pop art again, just to make it surreal? We don't need it this time. The color's pretty solid. I think if I just work with just the tones, let me make it a little darker, and then I'll push the highlights back in. Oops, I forgot my timer. And let's put this on vivid. And we'll push the reds. Oh. And let's, yeah, just the reds. That's good enough. Maybe the orange a little bit. Okay. And I want to bring out some of the whites a little stronger, so I'm going to push this up. Okay. And I think compositionally, maybe a vertical. Is that split evenly? Pretty much. Pretty much an even split. Just wish there was more here in the sky, like some nice clouds or something, but they're all the way back here. Let's try a little vignette. Can't do too much with sky, because then it's too obvious. Okay. Let me work with this a little bit here. All right, I think I'm done. So let's do before and after. Oops. I feel like the vertical just feels more, draws you in more. When it's wide like that, it's just wide. I know I'm so articulate today, but I really feel like the vertical draws you in more with the traffic, like you're more in the traffic than you are looking at it. And then of course everything else just manipulating the tones here and there. So that's it. I think that looks good. All right. Go to the next one. And we have a racing car from Darko. Haven't seen one from you in a while. Wow. It's a JPEG though. So it looks like you did some processing, a little bit, maybe over sharpened a bit. Because you can see it's very soft here. Then there's this sort of these artifacts on the car. So it looks like you used a brush to sharpen the car. But good job panning though, overall. What's the X if any? XT2 with a 55 to 200, F9, 1/200, ISO 16. You know, when you're panning, I think you can shoot wider. You could have shot this maybe at f4 or f5.6, and then oh, but that would have bumped your shutter speed. But then you could have cranked the ISO down to 200 or 100 and got the same shutter speed. I would have probably done it that way. Like lowered the ISO to slow the shutter and then lowered the aperture. But anyhow, this one is pretty straightforward because it's already processed. I think just a pop art and then a tiny bit of work on the tones. Because it's crushed a little bit too dark for me, believe it or not. Whoops. Try down here. Do it that way. And then, you know, I like a vignette. I don't have a lot of wiggle room because it's a JPEG, but I think that's it. So, let's see. Um, the red's a little bit strong, but we can definitely see more greens and everything else. And if this hadn't been processed already, I think, or if I had gotten the raw file, I could have done more. But as is, I think that's a minor improvement overall. Mainly it was just crushed a little bit too dark in the blacks here. All right. This one we'll have to hit up in Lightroom. This one from Lauren. Okay, Lauren, what'd you do today? Canon EOS RP with the, oh, you got the 50mm finally. Awesome. Awesome. Good to see you got that lens. I know you were really, really wanting that lens. F8, yep. All good settings as usual. Just a hair of exposure comp. Interesting. And nature agrees with me on the exit for the car. Okay. Yeah, Lauren always sends in these very tight shots. I rarely have any compositional tips, or, I mean, not tips, but compositional ideas other than what he's already framed. But I feel like it's, the girl here is a little bit too far lower left. So I'm going to come in a little tighter. And then I need to warm it up quite a bit. So I really want to get a golden hour kind of feel. Sorry, my timer again. Okay, that's good. And then maybe some dehaze a little bit. Right there. And I don't need to do much here on the tones. They're already pretty solid. Okay, right about there. And then definitely a strong vignette on this. What I might have to do is, oh, it's a JPEG, but I'm thinking, I don't think I can save these highlights. These highlights are a little bit too bright for me to do anything here on a JPEG. So we'll just leave that. And then I need some more detail though. Maybe sharpness will make it look just a little bit stronger, or let me see a total opposite idea. Ooh, I like that. I like the soft focus. So let me reset this tone curve. Like so. Go the other way on the, oops. Go the other way on the vignette. No. We're fine. Just a little bit less. And let's add in a little bit here. Just a little more dehaze. And then I need to shift the yellows. So I'm going to go into the blues and pull. Let me try it this way. And push the shadows more blue. Try the greens. I give it some magenta. And in the reds, just a little bit more. That might be a mistake. Yeah. Now it's looking like old-timey-wimey now. No, I don't like this red. Go back to the blues. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Other than, I'm going to just try a wider crop and see. Let me frame it this way. Nah, I liked it the other way before. Now, that's kind of interesting, a full 16 by 9. But she's just too small in the frame at that point, so... let me do it. Let me keep it at the original aspect ratio right there. All right, I'm out of time, so... there's the before and after. So I just wanted to make her more prominent in the frame, basically, with the recomposition here, or the crop. I mean, I kind of miss the mountains in the background, but they are... She's just too small in the frame otherwise for my taste. And then, of course, you know, some color processing, right? Warm up the image to make it feel warmer, more golden houry, and soft focus to give it a more surreal look. All right. Now add a unicorn. It looks fake, Milo. Yeah, a little bit. It's very, I would say surreal is the word I would use, but yeah, it doesn't look like a photo anymore. It looks more like something more surreal. I agree. Okay, let's see. We have a Sony 85 millimeters, 2.8, 1/2500, and f2.8. Okay, good. Let's see, good detail here. This is a JPEG though. It's a little bit over processed again. We lost some of the detail here. Hmm. Um, maybe just come in a little tighter. I don't know if I really need all this on the left side. I like the idea of negative space, but it would look a little out of balance if I square it. Let me see. Yeah, it's not out of balance, but it just looks just a bit too tight. So I'm gonna go 16 by 9 and come in off this side just a tiny bit. Okay, and then there's really good color and detail already. So I'll just add just a little bit there. And let's punch the colors. Just a tiny bit. Pull back on the oranges. Push the reds. Yellow. Just trying to separate the dragonfly from the background a little bit. Let me reframe it. A little tighter. There's too much space on the bottom. And some vignette. I think we'll call it there. It's already pretty much everything we need to see or know about this image is there. So basically just a tighter crop and a slight manipulation on the colors. But I think that looks good. Just a tighter crop, basically. Not much change anywhere else, it looks like, and a slight vignette. Oh, I got rid of this green spot on the left, yeah. That makes sense. So full screen, it looks good, I think. It's a perfect picture. Okay. Good job, Garrett. Didn't have to do much to that one. Let's see, Image Writer sending me a fisheye picture with the EM10 Mark II 8mm fisheye lens, looks like. Yep, so I can defish this if I want to. -1/2 on the exposure comp. Tough call. Oh, be nice, Milo. There's no bad shots here, just bad editing on my part. Okay. I think, let me just see what it looks like with a fisheye correction. I mean, that's kind of defeating without. We'll just leave it fisheye. Let's do that. And I'm gonna go. Never touch those circle palettes, pretty magnificent. I have no idea what you're talking about. Where I have gradation on. So I need to push the shadows maybe a little bit. Just I want to, oops, wrong one. Push these shadows. And then let's try dramatic tone filter. Like so. Oh, that's good. And yeah, it's not really a circle color palette. You have to adjust, you can adjust individual colors, but it's not like like you see in Capture One or Lightroom. Those are true graduated type circles. Workspace doesn't offer that. Nature says, understand why this is done fisheye. Okay. Yeah, it escapes me a little bit. I like the effect though. Pour in some vignette. Tiny bit more contrast right here. Okay, I think that's it. Maybe crop in a little bit on the bottom left. Let me see. No, I'm losing that window. Maybe that's okay. Let me try right there. Ah, no, I like that. Okay, I think that's it though. Um, okay. There's the before and after. So just a very slight crop to get rid of this one dark corner here on the bottom left. And dramatic tone and a little bit of, yeah, that's it. And I think that makes for a more interesting image the way it is on the right, I think. The dramatic tone just brings out all of the imperfections. This is a neat little train. I guess it doesn't look operational as beat up as it is. Like, what is this down here? Yeah, I thought maybe that was a clipboard, but it's just a rusted piece of metal. Interesting. Okay. Let's go to the next one. And Rob's BMW with a stick shift, huh? That's cool. Oh, I did an edit you like finally, Milo? All right. Let's see. We have here one from Matt, and he's using the EM10 Mark II with a 25 f1.7, 25 millimeters. Yeah, all looks good. Good old EM10 Mark II. So I think what he's doing here is, yeah, it definitely is very moody, right? With the fog and lighting. So this lighting is what's attracted, I think, his eye. I'm gonna go wide. I don't think we need the trees in the foreground so much. Maybe a little less of that. And just a slight dehaze, maybe. Let me see. Because I just want to distinguish the beams of light a little better. Let's see. Yeah, we'll leave it right there. Maybe clarity will bring out some more streaks. No. Just a touch of clarity. Crop the wires out and go lower, maybe. Well, when I get to Photoshop, Milo, then you can make some suggestions there. In Workspace, if you're familiar with Workspace, you're welcome to make suggestions, but it's pretty limited. Let's try, whoops. Let's try that. And then let me undo this. I didn't mean to do that because it's pretty straight. All right. What if I do make it even more soft? Nah. It's already pretty soft as it is. A little less contrast maybe. Just a slight down. Maybe get more of this house on the left. I like this little house here. I think this balance is better. You know, the weight of these homes here balance out the bright lights over here a little better. And I'm just, yeah, I think, let me reset the tone curve. And we'll do a slight white balance adjustment. A little bit cooler. Try 3000. That makes these blues a little bit stronger without hurting the left side. And I think that's it. Flying Fish says for, oh, Elaine, are you leaving? Okay, we'll see you later. Vignette is something to be avoided in a lens, but you added in almost all the many edits. It is obviously a personal thing, but would be interested to know how others feel. Yeah. Well, this image, I'm not going to vignette because it would look really bad over here on the right side. But I think I'm pretty much done, other than maybe just a little. If I can work with the colors, no, I can't. The wheel is solid. Let me work with the blue channel just a tiny bit, and then pull it. Okay, now I'm done. Let that render a tiny bit, but I think it's rendered. So yeah, too much tree in the bottom left. And yeah, cropping out the wires was a good call by Dave, I think. And just some very subtle shifts in the tone and color, right? And I think that's all it needed. Yeah, okay. Let's go to this one. Oh, thanks, Milo. Get some green going. Yeah, a little green wouldn't have hurt that image because it was very red and blue. The greens were definitely lacking. All right, so we have here from Ian, Olympus EM5, 40 to 150, 53 millimeters, 1/60th. I think this is all good. Good settings. I really like this. I'm going to go with the vertical though, but let me straighten it out a little bit. No fans of vignetting here, huh? Yeah. I'll try and do less vignetting. Because, yeah, it really is a personal choice, right? I like vignetting, but let me just straighten this out. And let's go, oops, I didn't put my timer on. Let's go with a vertical. Is there any room to crop in off the bottom? Maybe do 4x3 vertical. Crop a little bit off the bottom. Okay, now let's do the haze and clarity to bring out the clouds a little better. And what are we doing on the filters? Because a lot of noise came in. Only other filter, you know, this art filter might be interesting. Let me see if that might jack it up. Give it a second to render. Usually this dramatic tone works well with clouds, but nah, it didn't work in this case. So I'm gonna have to do it manually. What if I just pull a little bit here and then push here? And let's warm it up to about 7,000. Yeah, square might work too, Lauren. It would cut off this and this, right? I'll try a square. I think I can go a little bit warmer, 7,500. That just makes this appear a little bit brighter. Let's work with the tone curve. Maybe push it right there. It's just so magenta. What if I pull it off? Try 8,000. What the heck? I mean, I still want the clouds to be pink, but not so pink. Okay. And the water is okay. Wow, it's really rendering slowly today. I don't know if I can bring the water up. Let me try with the gradation. No. Nope, nope. All right, the only other thing to consider is, like Lauren was thinking, maybe a square crop, which just bring it in just a little tighter. I don't have to go in quite as tight with a square crop. I think that works too. I'll just leave it there since we're out of time. And then we'll let that render. Give it whatever time it needs here, because it's very grainy without the rendering. But yeah, now we can see the waves and the water, and really the reflection is really in your face now because it's the main part of the image. And I think this works pretty well. I think just a little bit of a denoise filter would help this image just a little bit more. Right here, just a standard maybe. And give that a second to come in. Almost there. Okay, that helped a tiny bit, but not much. Yeah, it just needs a little denoising. So you'd have to edit this a little bit longer to work that noise issue, but I think you can keep all the tones and everything. I think that looks good. Now you can really see the details in the clouds and the beach and everything. All right, let's go to next one. This one from Anne. Okay, Anne, good job. A little bit more front facing. Unlike the last one you sent in, was kind of a corner, right? But this is front facing, and we have EM10, right? EM10 Mark II with the 25 millimeter, 1/50th. Yep. All very good settings. I would have done maybe F4 and tried to get 1/100th of a second, just to mitigate any motion blur, but it looks like you're fine. Dramatic tone works well with brick sometimes. I'll give that a second to render, but no, we're not going to go with that. So I think this just needs a little cropping and slight processing overall. Maybe a little warmer white balance, like 6,000. And maybe 6,500. Let's see, that might be too warm. That's a hair too warm. Let's go back to 6,200. And some dehaze and clarity. I might have to go black and white. Crank in some sharpness here. And then compositionally, no, I kind of like this. It does need to be tighter, but not be, that building sticking in. I like the steps here on the left side or right side down here. Okay. Ugh, dang it. Let's try a little bit taller and a little bit of keystoning. Not that one, this one. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's work with the tone curve. Some very, very tight. Right there. See if I can recover that door with gradation. Yeah, that helps. Let me redo the tone curve again. Spot remove, huh? Okay. I might have time for that. Let's see. Okay. A little more saturation maybe, and that's it. See if I can shift. I don't have colors, so I think I'm almost out of time. Clarity. All right. Let's go to before and after. Once that renders, but I think yeah, that's a little crispier. The image on the left's kind of flat, right? So the image on the right, it's warmer, and definitely we can see more detail in the roof and the stones, the front door. I like the richness there. So if I were to continue editing this, I would definitely work with the colors, because there's greens and blues and yellows in there that I didn't really work with at all. Definitely the reds in the roofing, but I think that looks better. Okay, and then a slight keystoning error, right? Um, but yeah, good shot, Ann. I like the composition overall. You just need to leave a little more space on the top, right? It was a little bit too tight on the top side. Because this just needs a little more room at the top. But other than that, I think it's a good shot. Okay. Let's see. We have from Kilowin, a local. He's local to me, so I know where this is in DC. Um, let's see. EM5 with the 12 to 40, 125th hundred. Wow, you dialed in a plus 1.3 EV. Interesting. I probably would not have done that. I mean, it looks like it was the right thing to do. I just wouldn't have thought of doing that in the field. see, natural. This guy pointing, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna crop in so this maybe a square. Just come in right there. And maybe a keystoning, not trapezoid, keystone here. A little more. Because you were pointing up, obviously. All right. Milo says, make the people the statue and the statue the people. I could, but I don't have time to do all of that work. Let's just add some dehaze to bring out some of the details in the rock. You always have to be careful when you're editing when there's people in it because you don't want to mess up the skin tones, right? Okay, that's good. And some clarity, just a touch. That'll help the sky a little bit. And let's see. Okay, let's work with the tone curve. I need a little bit more shadow. We'll pull it up with the highlights. And then just keep a little bit in the background. Maybe some more keystoning, and then I'll have to maybe not that much. And then cropping. Just balance it a little bit. Let's mess with the colors a little bit. Just a little bit more blues here, but then pull this down just a hair. And nature wants to see black and white, so oh, that's interesting with a little split toning, right? I would process this a little different in black and white. But I like the black and white actually. Let me give it a little more dehaze if I'm going to do black and white. And of course my vignette, just a hair. It's hard to do vignette with sky, but just a hair. All right. I think that's all I'm going to do here. So let's do before and after. So yeah, I think that looks really good. Definitely, you know, the contrast and then going to black and white is really nice. I should have split toned it a little bit differently. The split toning is too cyan looking to me. And it needs a slight tilt. So many problems. When you look at it full screen, right, you start to see some slight differences. It needs to be tilted slightly. And just a little less blue. All right, now I'm done. So there it is. It needs to render because it's all grainy right now. But yeah, nice and crisp. I think that looks great. That's a great shot. So it's a combination of things, right? Keystoning, split toning, a little bit on the curves, but okay. Great shot. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Tina, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Wow, we got a nice black and white shot here from Leon. And let's see, EM5 Mark III with a 14 to 150, 14 millimeter f5, ISO 500. Wow, so it's a little bit dark here. Let's see what the colors are. Let me go to a color, because this is a raw image. It was just shot in black and white. Because, you know, when I see a Pepsi sign, you know, I automatically think red, white, and blue. But I don't know, the black and white, let's look at that again. Yeah, I like the black and white too. Let's go ahead and crank some dehaze in, crank some sharpness, and I'm gonna pull. There's a little bit too much space on the bottom, so I'm gonna crop in. Maybe just need to do a square crop and push up like that. Let's see. Yeah, and there's some keystoning. Some keystoning, maybe this way. Just to straighten the legs out on the table a little bit. All right, and I think that works. All right, let's work with the tones. Maybe a tad clarity. I think maybe I'll do it this way. Oh, let me get rid of this pin. I definitely need a vignette to bring this top right corner in a little bit. Okay. Slight split tone. Let's go with red and cyan. So maybe the red's up here, cyan's down in the shadow, and we'll call it. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so we got, there's the before and after. Yeah, it'd been nice to get a little bit more of the head rest in to give it a little breathing room. But other than that, I think this crop works a little better. It's just too much floor space. And the floor didn't have anything too interesting to me. So, and the base of the chair, not that interesting. I think what's interesting is all the peeling paint and the Pepsi sign with the little, the guy sitting there. So this looks like a restaurant or something where you eat outside and they got these funky chairs for you to sit in. And I think the split tone with the red and slight cyan in the shadows looks really good. I really like the split tone I did on this one. All right. Let's go with the next one here. And a gold dollar in the background. I didn't see that, Dave. We have a turkey here, a little bit out of focus, back focus just a tiny bit, or on the crown here. Um, so let's see. Oh, this is the second one from Garrett. So it's a different picture, but I thought you sent two of the same, but you sent two different ones. That's okay, but generally one is enough. So we did this at 135 millimeters, probably an adapted lens because there's the EXIF data is a little lean. But okay, let's see what we got. Maybe just a slight crop. Come a little off the top. And just, we'll sharpen it best we can. This one doesn't need much. Everything's kind of baked in. Whoops. Just push this a little bit. I think that's all I'm gonna do. Because it's just slightly, I need to back off some of the sharpening I did. It's already been sharpened, it looks like, either in post or by the camera. So just a slight crop, just so we can see a little bit more detail. That's all. So that's it. Just a slight crop, basically, and a little more contrast, I think. I think that does the trick. I would add a vignette, personally, but I'll leave it off for everyone. Seems like vignettes aren't very popular. All right. Let's go over into Lightroom. See what else is there. So oh, I already synchronized this. Okay, good. Yeah, I did that just before we started. Lightroom a chance to load. All right, so I need to do this one, not this one. It's one here, one here, one here. Wow, there's a lot in here. One here. All right. So start here. And this is from DeMorcan, 14 millimeter kit lens. Okay, good. That all looks good. And we are almost perfectly center, I think. There's some light keystoning errors, but let me see. Need to come a little bit off the left side, maybe. Let me see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 7. So this board, a little bit more here. All right, let's go with that. Nailed it. Damn. A little bit off the top. Okay. And let me see, how's that feel? I don't think I need the bottom as much either. Okay, slight tilt this way. Okay. All right, let's just do some autos first to get it rolling. I'm debating if I should come in even tighter. But I kind of like the way this floor is. Oh, you guys can't, I can't see your comments. Hold on. Let me, there. I'm debating this. I don't know, black and white or not. Let's try a little bit of sharpening. Mask that. Tiny bit of color as always. How can I make this more dramatic? Because this guy is a little bit small in the frame, so I think I'll just come in tighter. Right there. And a vertical would be silly, I think. It just needs a slight tilt. All right, let's work with the colors. Oops. Steve thinks a 16 by 9, maybe 16. Let me work with the colors a little bit, and we'll explore that. I just want to bring some of the reds and these greens. I guess the green's okay. I don't like how this green is against the sky. All right. I don't know about 16 by 9, but I'll try. You never know till you try, right? And the guy is so small in the frame. I don't know if that helps. It doesn't hurt. I don't know if it's helping the image, but it's not hurting the image to go 16 by 9, really. Red is rather intense, huh? Maybe. Yeah, I can back it off a little bit this way. Oh, I'm out of time. All right, so let's do a before and after. Reset, compare. So, yeah, 16 by 9 is fine. I didn't think the other crop was bad either. What was it, 4 by 3 or whatever it was? You'd blast them into infinity, Dave? That's funny. But yeah, just really, it just need a little more contrast and saturation, and then the crop, right? There wasn't much here need to be done. And then black and white, I can show you. Let me show you. Oh, wait, that's the before image. That's black and white. I process it slightly different if it were black and white. Like the boardwalk itself is a little bit flat, so I really do something about that. But It doesn't quite look right in black and white, but it's not bad. Okay, let's go to the next one. And Steven, you like the black and white better? Wasn't bad. Let's see, we have an E410. Wow, old camera. I feel like I've seen this before. Not this angle of the boat, but a different angle. But anyway, nice. From Geringer, Norway. Queen Elizabeth from John Follows. Okay. Wow. This is a TIFF. Okay. So let's do some basic. Let's just do auto. Those two things brought out quite a bit. A lot of the sky came in. Maybe, no, maybe not quite so warm. Right there is good. And compositionally, I think we're okay. Maybe a slightly tighter shot. Slightly tighter here. Right about there, and on this side. I mean, I'm debating if I need this reflection of the smokestack at all. But and this red ball is a little distracting, this buoy. Let me crop it without those in there and see how that looks. Yeah, I like that better without the red down here at the bottom. It was a little distracting. And I don't need any more shadows. Maybe just try contrast. Or dehaze. I forgot about that. Some dehaze. About clarity. Texture. I'll back this off a tiny bit. Okay. And a tiny bit more in the shadows. Throw in a little bit of color noise. Let me try and do something here. No. Sorry. Hit the wrong button. I think I'll just brush in a little bit of warmth. A little warmth and a little dehaze. A little less. All right, I'm gonna call it there. Once you start light painting, you can't stop, right? So I gotta force myself. Just touch here and here. Okay, let's see it before and after. Reset. And compare. Okay, yeah, that's I think that looks better. Just a little warmer, a little more contrast. Slightly tighter crop. Like I said, this buoy here and this smokestack here just was kind of distracting. And then these boats here are framing. I think the bigger, you know, the Queen Elizabeth a little better. And then just, I don't know, I got mixed feelings about what I did up here, but, you know, that's easily fixed later. But this is definitely the direction I would go, this crop in particular. All right, let's see. We have here, this got to be Surge, right? Yeah, Surge, Erie Tree, the X100. 1250 of that 4, yep. This is an old camera, man. I mean, not as old as the E410, but still. All right, let's let me just auto here. Yeah, I like the original white balance. And we need some tilt. Okay. I wonder. Let me try. I'll just make this a little bit surreal. I'm just going to compare black and white in color. I think black and white. Okay, right there. And I need to do a strong vignette like this. Right about there. Maybe. No, that's not working. Okay. And if I leave any room here, let me see, tiny bit. All right. Okay, now compositionally, just need to center this a little bit. Thinking this vine over here is distracting me. Okay. And the sparrow stands out more now. What sparrow are you guys looking at? Yeah, right there. Okay, and then let's split tone it a tiny bit and we'll call it. Um, maybe I'm not denoising, I'm just softening it, but right there. So shadows, I'm thinking, let's do blues in the highlights. A slight blue, cyan. And then the shadows a little bit, maybe red. I like red, but not too much. Orange. Oh, I'm out of time. All right, so close enough. A little more work on the split toning is all it needed, really, but let's do a before and after. Yeah, I think that looks good. um, again, a very surreal, soft image. I exaggerated this fog or the haze in the image and brought it more front and center. And then just a mild split tone. I always like fog to be a little bluish in color and then warm up everything else. So I would spend a little more time on the split toning to make it just right, but that's about 90% there. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Next one. Um, thank you, thank you. You guys like that edit? That's cool. Yeah, so yeah, this one is next. And I can't even guess who this is. Dawood. Okay, Dawood. Got me. Like I could ever guess anybody. Sometimes I can guess though. When I see a picture, I can sometimes guess. Let's just do a slight auto here to straighten. My God, Lauren, you're killing me. And the crop is good. The composition is really good already. And this is a DNG file on a Panasonic G81. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Good settings. What's in here? Some paraffin or propaganda. Okay, black and white, no question. And it's just a matter of cropping this in a way. The original is what, a 4x5? Yeah, 4x5 is better, maybe a square. And let's do a crispy image. A bit crispier. Okay. Okay, nature, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming in. Let's get rid of some of this noise. Maybe it's color. No, it's luminance. So let's do that. Let's add some sharpening and mask this out like so. And I think a slightly taller crop might be in order. The 4x5 was about right. Maybe not. Maybe not. It needs to be more than a square, but less than 4x5. Let me look at the square again. That's just a little tight. Okay, so let's split tone it and we'll call it from there. So I think we'll give the highlights, see how they look red. No, green or cyan. A little bit blue. And then the shadows will give a little bit sepia. Back off this blue a little bit. And a little less dehaze. Where is that? Okay. Less sepia. Maybe, what is this, midtones? No. Midtones don't need much. Okay. Here we go, before and after. Okay, it's a little tight. It's a little tight. I think a custom crop, like a little bit more on the bottom and top would be in order. It's just a little bit tight. A cross process, maybe. But I think, yeah, that just feels, yeah, vintage. I think Salt to Be Fun's got it. It just feels kind of vintage, which is kind of the look I was going for when I looked at this. It feels very Western and vintage to me. So, okay. Let's get that to render a little bit. We're not seeing it in all its glory. There we go. So now it's rendered. It didn't render before. I think that looks pretty good. Like I said, just a little bit more on the top and bottom, so a custom crop. Because 4x5 was too much and a square is a little bit not enough. All right, let's go to the last one here. And what do we have? We have a school or something here. And a little bit of sky. And this is a plane, clearly, with the Sony. This is an old Sony from Stephen Page with a 24mm f2.8 1/60th. Yep, I think that's all pretty solid. So we have some keystoning. The plane is too small to use. We got to fix the keystoning, and then this is blurry here. Oh, okay. Let me do the auto here. Maybe that'll fix the keystoning. Yeah, that fixes it nicely. And then framing, we'll just go to the right side. Let me just check the shadows real quick. I don't know if the shadows, it's just anything worth saving over here. I like this tree up here, but just don't see anything else worth saving. So let's go with, this is a 4x, it's not a 4x3, I'm sorry, it's a 4x6 crop. Maybe about right there. That's way too tall. Okay, I like that. I wish I had a little more of that tree though. Then I would get this plane in it. All right, let's go with this. DeMorgan says 4x5 vertical, maybe. That's a little better. That's a little better than the square. Okay, let's just click auto here, see what happens. That looks good. We kind of lost the beauty of the sky here, though. It feels all cut off. Hold on. Let me try square again. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Still needs a little more keystoning. The auto didn't quite get us there. Yeah, that feels better. It's a little bit, maybe an 8. Yeah, right there. Where's 8? 9, okay. All right. Processing. Oh, hey, Walter. I didn't know you were here. Let's see. Let's see if the colors are separable. Nah, we need to use vibrance this time. And then let's warm it up here. Well, I can try this. Just pick a windowsill. Ooh. No, let's pick a windowsill up here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll use guidelines sometimes. But I can just kind of see it. When I look at the left side here, this line is straight with this corner. And then it looks pretty parallel. I do use grid lines sometimes. But with architecture, usually, you know, if I'm doing a paid job, if I'm doing paid work, yeah, I would definitely use grid lines to make sure. But for, you know, just general photo editing that I got to do in 4 minutes, I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, let me see if I can add some drama to this image without... A little less dehaze. Oh, I'm out of time. All right. I don't like the color though that I got out of this. It needs to be... Just do auto and pull off a tiny magenta. Okay, let's do comparison. Set and compare. All right, there's the before and after. So yeah, basically everything on the right side is just a mess. I like the tree in the top right corner, but you can't have that and not have the bottom, so I had to get rid of everything. The plane is so tiny that it just was irrelevant, so I just focused in on all of the colors and the texture in the building. So, what are you saying, DeMorgan? I used mesh warp on one of his edits. He was not with that look, though. Huh. Another great edit. Oh, thank you. I try. I try, guys. Okay, so let's look at the viewer edits. You guys are the ones that are really good at this stuff, not me. 1 star. All right, so quick look at the original. I don't know why when I do the photo editing live streams, I don't have any problems with the frickin' network, you know, the streaming. But when I'm trying to talk to somebody in a regular stream, it's all jacked up. Yeah, it's too late. There's like, gosh, there's about 4 more edits here. Let's go through the viewer edits and then, what time is it? 1:49. Yeah, I have to cut it off. I have to do them on, I might come back on Tuesday, but no later than Thursday to do any more edits. Okay, so where's the original? So here's the original. And like I said, when I was looking at this, I was like, well, it's already framed pretty tight, you know. And I was using that CCTV lens, so I don't think that lens lends itself to this kind of scene too well, because it just blurred out the corners, which I don't think this was the right lens for this scene. But in any case, this is what I got. And I couldn't think of anything to do to this, to edit it, to make it look interesting. So I'm curious what you guys are going to do to this thing. All right, so this one, okay, so this is a little bit of saturation and a slight crop. You got rid of, you know, sort of the sailboat on the right. And yeah, this is fine. This is a fine edit. Just clean and simple, right? Get it done. So we did A-time Achen, I think. Asin, I'm sorry. A time, a scene. I think that's the right way to say it. Okay, I'll do it after I do the photo edits then. It's a viewer edit I uploaded. Okay. Oh, it's not your own personal edit. All right, I'll throw it in after I finish these. Let's see. Oh, I like this processing. It's very crisp. I bet this is Walter. It's a very, very crisp edit. You know, you took the image and the coloring and everything. It just feels like a Walter Capture One kind of image. The crop is a little bit off to me though. It feels off center now. And it is, so that's a creative choice, but I do like the processing overall. Yeah, I knew it. I knew this was Walter. Definitely. Because you really did a good job sharpening it up, right? Because this was a very, very soft lens. Yeah, a little bit of a film-like. I like the processing here. All right, and this one, I can't even guess who this is. A wide crop, and it's tight. Of course, Dawood is always the one with the really tight crops, but this is not even close to what he normally does. But yeah, see, it's the same problem with this lens. Everything's kind of blurry. I think you've exaggerated that blur a little bit to come in tighter. But this is a nice edit though. Overall, I like what you did with the colors, and the crop works, I think. Really simplifies the scene, gets rid of all the boats. Maybe you brush some out afterwards, but I like it. I like it. It's a very simplified image. Ah, Joni, okay. Good deal. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Neo. I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay. And okay, so this is kind of a mix, like black and white a little bit. Made the water very flat. And then made the colors up front strong. So it almost looks like you cut and paste the people onto another image. So it looks like a composite now rather than an actual image. Let's see. This is Scott Monkford. Okay, Scott. This is almost, I don't know how to explain it, over processed to the point that it looks like it's two pictures composited together. But it's different, definitely a different look. Oh my God, this is a total composite. Everything is changed. Let me see. Yeah, everything is changed. It's like a whole different background. This has a Marcel feel to it, like Marcel, because I don't know why. It just feels like a Marcel image, but Marcel's not big into doing composites, like replacing things. So that's a little different. Let's see who it is. But I like the vertical crop, definitely. And then putting those images in the background match. The reason I think this feels like Marcel because of this sun here or the moon and the glow here, because he's been doing a lot of these artificial or adding light to an image, right? Oh, Anne! Oh my God, I'm so impressed, Anne. You did a great job with this. I'm impressed. I really like the moon here glowing on the water. And you must have composited this a little bit somehow. But that's great. Yeah, and the vertical crop, definitely, I like that. So, wow, you've really, that's really the best edit I've seen from you. And it's really one of the best edits overall. But okay, definitely don't work, think outside the box. And so this is a good square crop. I like this crop too. And it simplifies the image and gets rid of a lot of the defects that this lens has. And of course, the processing's pretty solid, very realistic, right? So it's good processing, good crop, good clean edit, right? Let's see, this is from John Follows. Okay, good job. Like I said, I think this works better because now you can see the people a little bit more than in the original. Because the original had too many distractions with the blurry ships being everywhere. So I think if you just want a clean edit, this is good. Kind of like what Walter did, but this is a little bit tighter. Oh man. Now this looks like, yeah, a timeless photo, right? Like this could have been taken back in the 20s or 30s. This has got to be Serge. But yeah, this is a great edit. And again, it just instead of getting rid of the distractions and the blurriness, he just made everything blurry and distracting by adding speckles and whatever else, right? So that's kind of cool. Let's see. Image Writer. Oh my God. Off again. I thought I nailed it, but I didn't. Good job, Image Writer. This looks like an old photo, definitely. All right. You can't find the box. All right, nice clean black and white edit, very contrasty. Um, Looks like you may have brushed out a boat that was here, I believe. It looks like, let me see. Yeah, a little bit. There was a boat right here. Okay. Um, yeah, clean edit. Clean edit. A little bit too contrasty for me, but it's nice and clean. Who did this one? Kiloin. Okay, Kiloin, good job. So you've probably been here yourself many times, right? Because you're local to me. The crop is a little off center. I don't know why. Walter did the same thing. He left more space over here on the right. I'll have to try and edit this and see why that's happening, because I think this is the only problem I have with this image. Stephen Page. Okay, so I don't even have to guess, right? Because Stephen watermarked it. But yeah, this is another good edit to make the photo very timeless, right? Like it could have been taken in the 30s. So, just a little bit bright right in the center, but that's okay. Overall, it does look, yeah, it looks good. I would have just made this a little darker here. But yeah, it looks good. Okay, I like it. And another nice square crop edit, simplifying the scene, brushed out the boat. And even though it's not perfect, it doesn't matter because it's just roughly water anyway. So yeah, this is a good clean edit. Nice and bright. Good job. Garrett. Okay, Garrett. Good job. Let's see what else we got. But yeah, the square crop definitely works. But again, there's a little bit more space on the right. Everybody's doing that. I don't get it. I'm all about symmetry myself, and that's just a little, when I see it, it's a little bit off. Like this is much closer. Look at this. This is cool. The only problem with this image is it's so bright on their backs. It's making it hard to edit it without looking a little bit off, because it always looks a little bit off when you have lights in the front here, but then the light's hitting them from the back. And the crop is a little tight on the bottom. I don't like their butts being cut off like that, um, but yeah, nice. And I like everything else. I like the little lights coming off the antennas. Yeah, DeMorgan says they're centering the people. Let's see, this was from Marcel. Okay, Marcel, good job. I'm surprised you didn't go harder on the fake lighting. Normally your fake lighting is like dramatic. This is a little more subtle than you normally do. Okay, whoops. All right, let's see. Oh, I like this. This is Marcel again, obviously, because it's the exact same processing, but in color and vertical. And this is a little more convincing with the artificial lighting, because now it looks like the lighting here on their backs might be from a lamp, like a street lamp or something that we can't see. So I would have probably tinted this to be more tungsten. But yeah, it looks good. Definitely Marcel. Yep. But it's very, very dramatic or punchy looking, right? All right. No virus threats. That's good to know. Okay. Oops. Is that all right? Next one. Oh, this is awesome. Brushed out all the frickin' boats and distractions and the horizon in the background. The coastline is clean. So this is a nice edit. Who did this one? Surge. I knew it was you, Surge. I knew it. I knew it. I should have called it, but I hit the button before I called it. But yeah, good job. This definitely looks authentic, vintage, 1970-ish. Wow, here's a full-on sky replacement. Um, I bet this is, I'm gonna say David. I can't think of the last name, but I think this is Dave. Dave Nelson. Dave Nelson did this, maybe. Let's see. Oh, Neo, oh my God. Neo, how you doing? I haven't seen an edit from you in forever. Wow. We were just talking about that in the chat, like where the heck is Neo? But that's cool. Wow. Okay, Neo, good job. Good job. Again, the colors, if you didn't replace the sky, I would have nailed this as one of your edits because you always do a good job with the colors. Somehow the colors down here, the blues and the reds and tans and everything just really work well. And then the shoreline and the horizon is what threw me off, but that's cool. And like I said, the problem with this image is light's hitting these people from their backs. I think if you threw some shadows in down here and darkened them a little bit, this would have been a little more convincing sky replacement. But without the shadows, it's a little bit off. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, Ian. Oh, I put the name up, sorry. Ian sent this one. Nice clean edit. Cropped in. I like it a little bit wider like I saw. This is not a square crop. This is a vertical. But yeah, like I said, the idea is the same, right? Simplify the image, get rid of all the distractions and defects that this lens is showing. So yeah, good clean edit. Good job. And Demorkin, dang it, I left the name up again. But this is Demorkin, as if we didn't know already. Good job, Demorkin. I really like the tones you did on the black and white. Wow. You know, crushing the blacks and then pushing the whites and everything, that looks really good. Nice contrast the image. This is like what I would edit if I edited this all at all. Good job. All right, let me take the name off. We'll go to the next one. Oh, well, Demorkin again with a little bit of split toning, some cyan and reds. Looks good. And all right, now this is Dave. This has got to be Dave, right? Or somebody spoofing Dave. And he put these poor people up on the poles. It's like it's going to impale them. My goodness. You're crazy. Let me see. Demorkin, oh my God. Demorkin, you are spoofing Dave here. Because this is something Dave would do. Put flames on and then, you know, basically impale his the subjects. Wow. Okay. That's cool. All right, let's see what's next here. All right, good, clean, soft edit. This looks very film-like with the colors, you know, muted colors. So slightly aged photo. I would definitely put this like a 1980s kind of film look, just because it's not all wrinkled and creased, right? But yeah, I like this edit. Very soft and very muted. Good job, Dawood. I like it. I like that. This is something I hardly ever do in my edits, right? I never use muted colors. And when I do, I just go soft focus, right? So this is something I definitely need to do more of. And wow, this is strong. This is very strong editing here. And definitely some simplifying. Oh, excuse me, taking out all of the distractions, keeping the shoreline. But the yellow, the orange is a little bit too strong for my eyes here. But I like the crop. And definitely centering, everybody's centering the two people, and I can't deal with it because of this. But that's just me, right? Okay, I would just back off this like neon orange, yellowish. Like this shirt is just kind of greenish, almost neon green. I would just back that off and I think it would look really good. Yeah, Hugh, good job. Thanks, appreciate it. All right, if this isn't Dave, I'm just gonna hang up, you know, guessing anymore. Because this is so obviously a Dave photo. But I like the processing, this very vintage look, until you put the nuclear explosion. I wonder if like a nuclear bomb was going to hit, if you would be sitting out, like you don't have your phone on or anything, like if this is how it would look, and you'd be like, oh crap, you know. Let's see, this is Hugh. Oh my God, all right, I'm not going to guess anymore. I'm just putting Dave out to be a pyromaniac when he's not. I haven't seen his edit yet, but but wow, okay, Hugh, good job. I like this edit better than the last one in terms of the colors. And then everything else looks good. Yep. Let's see what else we got. Oh, that's the last one. All right, let's get the one from Jack. He said he sent in an edit. And I'll pull in if there's anything else. RT. But for editing, I have to wait till Tuesday or Thursday. I don't see anything, Jack. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Here it is. Wow, super wide. I have to take my big head out of the picture. So you shorten the poles or the columns down. That's cool. Wow, you did a really good job shortening those poles. So you must have cut out and then brushed. Wow, this is interesting. I wonder how you did this. But that definitely is very different and it's super wide crop. Interesting. All right, Jack, good job. I like it. It's very different than the original, which is what I like. You know, it's just like you would never know. I mean, that you did all this editing to it. It looks like you just took a clean picture and edited it slightly from there. Okay. So all these other pictures, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 more that, let's see, a couple from Gilbert, one from Elaine. I have to do these Tuesday or Thursday. I'm just, it's been a couple hours, I'm running out of steam. Okay, so, find mine, please. Oh, look, but I didn't see it, Dave. Let's go back to the list. Let me do it as a list. Gilbert, Garrett. DeMorgan, David. Sorry, Dave, it's not here. It's not here. So try and upload it right now. I mean, I can wait 30 seconds for you to upload it. A little masking and clone stamp. I mean, if it's an edit of my photo, it just takes a second if you have time. I'll look again, but I don't see it. I really don't see it. Yeah, it's not here. If I hit refresh. Yeah, just resend it. I mean, people that want to wait and see it, you can wait. If not, you know, have a great weekend, but I can wait a minute. Looks like there's 42 people right now. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Maybe what I can do is, let me see if I can pick my favorite. I really liked what Walter did this week, even though he told me that he didn't like my picture. Is it this one? No. Yeah, I think this is Walter's. Yeah. Okay. I like that one. I liked, let's see, this was almost perfect, but the whites were too bright. And it's just my person. You guys obviously will have your own picks. Uh, this is crazy. That's crazy. This is good. Serge did a good job. These are all really good. I think in terms of composition, though. Okay, let me take a look. There it is.
Oh my God. Look at this. He's got like the SpaceX or something taken off. And then he's got these little tiki torches made of skulls. That's cool. All right, Dave. That was worth the wait. I like this. What is this in the bottom? I guess you were trying to do a reflection here in the water. See, I was just trying to like take away any assumptions I had about your images, and then you send one of these with skulls and flame coming out of the skulls. But these tiki torches with skulls, and never seen that before. But I like this thing taking off here. All right, good job. All right, yeah, great edits, everyone. Really good. Like lots of stuff I would have never have done myself. I actually, you know what? I think this week I like Anne's the best. Come to think of it, I like how she put the moon here and have this. I'm gonna say this is my favorite edit for the day. Um, so awesome, awesome job, Anne, and everyone, of course. Hopefully you like a couple of the edits that I did. But we will see you guys next week. And I may do a stream on Tuesday just to test out any changes I made to the router and stuff. But we'll see how it goes. Definitely on Thursday I'll be back. So thanks again for sending your images in and editing mine. It's always a lot of fun as always. We'll see you guys again next time.